the show, Jason Bible. Texas Real Estate Radio Network, here with Rob Trigg of Jet Lending.
We have not seen each other in a while.
Oh, dude, my summer is crazy.
Yes.
So just got back from Philmont. We were doing 12 days. We did over 100 miles.
Wow.
Like 20,000 feet of elevation. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So that, and then 4th of July and everything else. So
I turned another year older.
You did?
Yes.
You did.
I woke up Tuesday morning. My birthday's on the 4th of July, so I woke up Tuesday morning and I looked at my wife and I said, "Do I look older?" She said, "No, babe. Not at all.
You look way older."
You look way." She's like, "You look way older." Shoot, that's the first time I'd really drank. I would say decently in a very long time.
Yeah.
I called one of those IV places up and I was like, "Hey, get over here now."
Are you serious? I've never done that. How is it? Does it perk you up pretty quick?
It perks you up pretty quick, but I mean, even at my age, it still hurt.
Yeah.
But it didn't hurt as long because, I mean, they put all these vitamins in you and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So by the end of the day, I was feeling back to normal.
You know, I will tell you this, in the last 6 months, at least in the last year, but especially in the last 6 months, I just don't have the tolerance like I used to. I don't know what the deal is, but I think it's that new health regimen I'm on because you got to sleep, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like you just get to a point where I'm looking around. Like 4th of July, we were all at the lake, great time, tons of people over there, had a blast. And then I just looked at my girlfriend at one point. I'm like, I'm going to bed. Like
Yeah.
and she's like, okay. It's like 10:30. You know.
Don't even get me started. My sister even laughs at me. She's like, she told somebody to call me, but don't call him after 9.
Yeah.
He's usually asleep.
It's sleeping time.
It's sleep time. Like me and Amberly, we just get in bed and we watch Coco Melon, and I'm usually first out.
First one out. That's funny.
And she's like right behind me. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, crazy market we're in.
Well, I was going to ask you. Wait a minute. I heard the world's ending.
It is.
So what are you doing here? I figured you guys would close up shop. You're not lending money anymore.
Effective whenever God says the world's ending.
That's right.
That's when it's ending.
I keep reading on Facebook, the world's ending, mortgage. In fact, here's the funny thing, and I've said this. I just read a report. Mortgage rates are down 40 bips because no one's lending. And they're like, well, we got to compress our margins or otherwise no one's going to borrow money from us. So it's like that's kind of how that works. But classic supply and demand. But I keep reading on Facebook, world's ending, there's a recession, real estate's crashing. I'm like, I'm not seeing it.
Well, I mean, we're still lending, so I mean, the doors are still open. And
Yeah.
we haven't waved the yellow flag yet.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to anytime soon.
No.
You know, there's still the good thing about the market that we're shifting to is there's more inventory.
Yeah, I mean, marginally more inventory. It's not like.
Well, I mean, it went up about 4,000 in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If you paid attention.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd say that's a little bit more than marginal. I mean, it gives you a healthier appetite of what's out there. You know.
It's so funny. I read this report and they were talking about Austin was in the top 5 of markets that had a flood of new inventory. And I was like, if you go back and look at the numbers, Austin had 0.8 months of inventory. 0.8.
Yeah,
So they were like, it's more than doubled. Oh, they have 1.6 now. It's like, everybody calm down. You know, it's going to be fine.
When it gets above 20, call me, okay?
Yeah, I've literally been hitting guys up where I'm like, when it gets to 6 months of inventory, give me a call.
Yeah, give me a call.
Now we can talk, but it's not going to happen.
It's not there yet. I mean, yes, should we be paying attention to what's going on? Absolutely. Should everybody be paying attention and try to kind of predict maybe what's going to happen? Yes, it's a safe bet. But I think right now it's too early to tell what really is going to happen. I mean, like you said, the interest rates went back down for long-term mortgages. I will tell you, on the non-QM side, it's changing daily.
Oh, we're getting rate reprices like daily.
Yeah, daily.
It's crazy.
So it is what it is, you know. But hey, if real estate's not going to get any cheaper. I mean, it may progressively slow down as much as it increases, but it's still going to increase.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Okay, rates are not where you want them to be right now. Buy a house, refinance later.
Yeah, I'm buying another beach house.
Yeah.
We got a rate for non-QM at 8%, and I'm like, they're like, well, or 8.2, whatever it was. And they were like, hey, you worried about the rate? And I'm like, no, we're refinancing 18 months anyway.
Yeah.
Like it's not that big a deal.
Yes.
So yeah, the long-term stuff, it's like buy everything now and then just refi,
Rates will drop eventually.
They will. In
Eventually.
fact, I'm doing my show Friday. So tomorrow morning, Mondays and Fridays, I'm doing a market update. And I'm looking at the forward projecting markets. They're saying 50, maybe 75 bip increase this month. Mm-hmm. But they've already priced in rate reductions, rate decreases Q1 2023, if not sooner. Yeah. So I'm like, guys, this is just a temporary thing.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. That's all you could say.
Well, here's
the end of the bottom line. The end of the world is not coming, and I don't think the horns of Valley have sounded.
That's right.
Yet.
Yeah, the four horsemen are not here yet.
Yeah.
The other thing I've told everybody is I said, in the history of never have rates reduced the prices of houses.
That's absolutely true.
If you look through the 70s and 80s, highest interest rates in the history of the U.S., housing prices only went up.
Yeah.
And people can't wrap their mind around it. I'm like, it's real simple. It's supply and demand. You got to have a house to live in. You're going to pay whatever the rack rate is to get that house.
Yep.
You listen to these old guys and like, I paid 18% and I liked it. And I'm like, okay, well, then that doesn't mean prices are coming down, does it? And they're like, oh, no, I guess it doesn't.
Yeah, and everybody's freaking out over 5s and 6s. I mean, I have said this vocally. I foresee it going even higher. I foresee maybe even 9s and 10s during a recession, and then you got to stimulate the economy somehow. So what do you got to do?
Just lower rates.
You got to lower rates.
That's all they're going to do.
That's all they're going to do. But you've got to get it up to a point. Right now, if they were to try to stimulate an economy in a recession, we'd be at negative interest rates. I mean, and that doesn't make sense.
I have said this in my career. We will see 0% interest rates on 30-year mortgages. It'll be 0.9, and there'll be 30 or there'll be 15-year for like top-tier borrowers, because all they're going to be able to do is make money on the fees and then trading the paper. Which is really what they do now.
Yeah.
But there'll be so much money in the system. We will see that in our careers. Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll see it in our careers.
Shit.
It's not going to be the next 5 years, but we will absolutely see it in our career.
Okay.
But this next go around, if you look at the mortgage chart for the last 30 years, you'll see after every recession, right in the middle of recession, they cut rates every single time. Mm-hmm. So we're going into a recession. What's going to happen? Rates are going down. By the way, we're going into an election cycle. Mm-hmm. The election is really 2 years. So rates are going down.
Mm-hmm. It has to.
Yeah.
It has to. Otherwise, nobody's going to get voted into office, and everybody's just going to be like...
Right. You're not going to get free stuff, and we're all about free stuff. What did Rush Limbaugh used to call it? Santa Claus. So Santa Claus is coming to town. He just looks like Joe Biden these days. And we're not going to get our free stuff, so we got to get our free stuff.
Yeah, we got to get our free stuff, especially during an election year. You got to love that.
Got to love your free stuff.
So anyway...
no free stuff for the Bitcoin guys. That's... sorry, boys.
Yeah.
Who predicted that one? But
I think it was you.
Oh, that's kind of weird. All right, we get back from the break. We will stop torturing the Bit Bros, even though I've really enjoyed that the last couple of years. Jason Bible, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. All right, welcome back. Jason Bible, Texas Real Estate Radio Network, here with Rob Trigg. So what's going on in the land over at Jet? What are you guys seeing? I always like to ask this question. Long-term purchases and refis versus short-term flips.
It's
like,
a
what do you
mixture
guys
of both. It's a
kind of 50-50
right?
still?
Yeah. I mean, you still got 50-50. You still got the clients that still like to get out there and make that fast cash on a flip. And then you got these long-term guys. But I will tell you, our long-term programs are getting more and more, what's the word I want to use? More and more user-friendly. And people are starting to figure out, But to this day, I still got people calling me, my DTI is too high. I got turned down for a regular mortgage. I was like, let my team look at it.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean? I was like, well, we don't go off your DTI. We go off of a debt service cover ratio of the property. If it meets this certain criteria and you've got a good credit score, hey, play it cash in the bank. 3 questions answered, yes, yes, yes. Boom.
Off to the races.
Off to the races. Don't worry about the higher increased interest rate.
Yeah.
Because it is a DSCR loan. It's going to be higher than your traditional mortgages. But hey, if I'm at a 7 and traditional mortgage is at 5.7 and you can't qualify for the traditional mortgage, why not pay 7?
Yeah, who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, you're getting You're getting investment property appreciation over time. You'll be able to cash out in 5-6 years, and boom, have a ton of money in your pocket.
Yeah, I think the whole cash flow thing is overblown. They need a cash flow.
Yes,
but it's all overblown. It's like, well, I'm going to buy this many properties and retire. Dude, you got to have them free and clear.
Yes.
Or you have to have a massive portfolio. So it's like, just buy them now. And I always run into the guy like, well, it's going to crash this year. I'm like, I've heard that since 2013. So how many deals have you passed on because you're so sure the world's going to end? But then you keep missing out on 20% a year appreciation, man. I don't know how to help you.
I will tell you this. If you sit down and try to figure out what's going to happen in the future, then your name is Marty McFly. Okay, because nobody knows what's really going to happen.
Well, here's what I know. On a long enough timeline, you're going to get real rich in real estate.
Yes.
That's an absolute truth.
So I had an argument with the guy, not an argument. Somebody I know, he said, we were sitting there the night before the 4th of July, and we were talking about wealth, how to build wealth. He's like, yeah, you build wealth in the stock market. I was like, you're a complete idiot.
Yeah.
I said, you build wealth by buying real estate.
Yeah.
He said, that makes no sense. I've made $2,000 a month the last blah, 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 blah. I said, really? You made $2,000 a month the last 6 months? Okay, congratulations.
It's great.
You've made what?
12 G's, bro.
12 G's.
Killing it.
Good job. Good job.
That probably doesn't put gas in the truck these days.
No. I said if you want to get substantially rich, make $12,000 a month.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't do that. I was like, bull crap.
Yeah.
Bull crap. Airbnbs all day long.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yep.
Hold on. Not Airbnbs. Short-term rentals.
That's right. Yeah.
Eddie, please forgive me.
Forgive me for I've sinned for the short-term rentals.
He hates it when we refer to them as Airbnb.
Yeah.
They're not Airbnbs. They're short-term rentals.
That's good. That's he's wearing the professor hat. We want to
is.
make sure we get the terms right. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Yeah.
He's like, Airbnb is a system to rent out a short-term rental.
Yeah.
It is not the acronym I want used. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Short-term rental.
Short-term.
So anyway, at the end of the day, short-term rentals they're hot. They're hot.
Yeah.
It just depends on where you get them, and I mean you can get them anywhere, but that is a business model that I just love. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just seeing the residuals come in on the clients that I've done these on, and they're just making money like crazy money.
I was looking at some of our Airbnb stuff this week, especially the stuff that's on the beach, and 40% occupancy is at break even. Mm-hmm. It's like, so you sit there and look at it and you're like, man, that's a 60% margin. Mm-hmm. Where do you get that anywhere else?
Nobody wants to stay in a hotel anymore.
No.
Nobody. No. I mean, I go to hotels and I'm like, I told my wife, I was like, we're not going to a hotel anymore.
Yeah.
Period. I was like, the experience is not there. Go down Airbnb, you want to go, it's like you're in your own house,
It's so girlfriend says, hey, what do you want to do? Like, is there a trip you want to take this summer? I'm like, a buddy of mine just went to Fredericksburg. I haven't been there forever. And she books the whole trip and says, Airbnb house right next to Main Street with a hot tub. Like, we got the whole place, just two of us. But it's like, you'd rather stay there than stay at some hotel, hang out in their hot tub with a bunch of other people. And
that you don't even like
you
or even know.
You never know.
And you can't get everybody on the same floor.
That's right, yeah. And
they're all spread out.
Yeah, kids screaming up and down the hallway. It's like, the house is the way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I will not stay in a hotel if I have to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, find us an Airbnb.
Yes.
Like I go to speaking engagement in Longview. I said, find us an Airbnb.
Yeah,
she's like, are you kidding me, Longview? I was like, well, find a friend to stay with. We're not staying in a hotel.
Not staying in a hotel. Not doing it. Not dealing with the bed bugs and all the craziness. Yeah. I don't need the hotel points.
No. Unless you go to Vegas and
Vegas, you got to hold.
That's kind of hard not to stay in the hotels.
Yeah,
there.
you got to stay in the hotel. Some of them are there. So
whoa. Huh? The business idea just stopped, popped right in my head.
What's that?
Airbnb with a casino in the inside of it.
So here's how it works in Vegas. Because I'm looking right now. I've been looking for about a year. And some of the towers allow Airbnb. Some of them you have to put them in the hotel pool. Mm-hmm. So it kind of depends on where you're at. Like MGM Grand will allow you to Airbnb or allow you to manage yourself or with like a management company or they will put it, quote, in the hotel pool. Mm-hmm. So it kind of depends. There's just not a whole lot of them. Mm-hmm. And most of them don't allow, most of the residences are 6 months or longer leases, especially the newer properties, right? Cosmo, Aria. What's that really nice one that just opened? It's a residence only. I'll remember the name of it here in a minute. But in any case, those are all at least 6 months.
Okay.
So Vegas is a little, and that hotel lobby in Vegas, pretty strong.
Yeah.
Right? So the fact that they even allow Airbnb in that town just blows me away. But, they're a little more, Vegas a little wilder. So.
Yeah, so that's about the only place I would enjoy. But I don't know. I guess the older you get, the more spoiled you get, and the more you just don't want to deal with. You don't want to deal with the checking in and, oh, we got your reservation wrong, and by the way, you're double booked. No.
Or my favorite is I want to be able to pull the car up, get out, and walk into my residence. Yes. Not get out, you go to the valet, you're waiting in valet with all the other morons in valet, and you're sitting there, keys in the car, guy comes around, okay, finally you walk in, it's 10-minute walk to the elevator, then it's you're way up in the top of the tower, so it's a 10-minute ride up to the top of the tower. I'm getting too spoiled for it.
Yeah, so, but at the end of the day, hey, we're still lending money though. I will tell you that. Lots of it. And we're putting a lot of it out there.
So how do they get in contact with you to get some of that money?
Well, you can call me at 903-806-4400. You can call my team at Jet. You can email us at jetteam@jetlending.com. We'll be happy to help you anytime, night or day. We got you covered, I guarantee you.
But not past 9 p.m.
Well, no. You could call.
You call. Yeah.
Just leave a message.
9 p.m. Rob, I got this deal. We got to close it tomorrow morning.
Okay, I'll call you tomorrow.
Okay. I'll call you tomorrow morning first thing.
First thing in the morning, buddy. I'll call you.
All right, we get back from the break. We're going to talk more with Rob at Jet Lending's Jason Bible, Texas Real Estate Radio Network.
Is that Resorts World you were thinking of? That brand new one?
I've been there. Resorts World is really nice, but there's a new residence tower, and I cannot remember the name of it. It is really, really nice. But yeah, Resorts World is nice.
Yeah, I'm eventually gonna have to take the kids to Disney World, so I'm gonna have to sit down with
you got to chat with
Rob and say, look, I want to do this the right way. What's the right way to do this?
Well, I'll tell you. Let's go back. I'll tell you the story. All right, welcome back, Jason Bible, Texas Real Estate Radio Network, here with Rob Trigg of Jet Lending. All right, Disney. Let me give you now. Rob is the person to go to. Rob
the other
Orfino.
Rob.
Yeah, the other Rob.
The other Rob.
To do the Disney thing. So we went to Disney, and so I used to work for Six Flags. I was a lifeguard there. Like, that's kind of where I started my career after I was about 17 years old. So there's, the parks on any of the big holidays are a nightmare. There's people everywhere. It's an hour-long wait. It completely sucks. I call it the Death March. It's 106 degrees, and Florida's just like it is. Orlando's like it is here, right? It's hot, it's miserable, there's all these people. So there are weekends every year that they identify that are the low weekends, like January, February time, and it's still nice there. So there are certain weekends, and they intuitively kind of know what those weekends are, or the weeks. So that's when I would recommend you go. And Rob will know what those dates are, but those are the weeks that you go. And in fact, they have a lot of, like when I went there with them, we rented this huge townhome. Like 4-bedroom townhome. It was great. Rob was making breakfast every morning. It was great. And then we get to the park, and there's virtually nobody at the park. I think the only people that were really at the park is there was some big cheerleading competition. So there's all these little cheer chicks running around doing their cheerleading stuff. Yeah. And anyways, and then you get those Disney Fast Passes. And now, I'll tell you right now, it doesn't look like it, but Rob Orfino can run. Like, I've never seen that man move so fast, except when we were at Disney World. So when you go to Disney, like I'm a little bit taller than he is. I'm like running after him because he goes, no, we're going to this ride. We walk in, there's no line, you do it. And then we're like, run to the other side of the park to do this ride because this is the best time to hit this one. Plus, you're getting your fast passes, right? So you're literally running
the whole time.
The whole time you're at the park.
That sounds exhausting.
Well, but here's what's great: in the span of 3 or 4 hours, you've hit everything. Except for like the big rides. The Avatar still takes forever, and I haven't been there since Star Wars, but he said the Star Wars one is crazy.
That's the one that's one I really want to go back to.
Well, and he'll tell you the secret. You want to stay at the hotel too, and it's supposed to be just absolutely wild. But Yeah, you're right. I mean, you really got to figure that insiders thing out so you can be as fun and as efficient as possible. But here's the secret, right? You go early in the morning, as soon as the park opens, you go running around. And then right before lunch, everybody heads back to the house. You cool off, the kids take a nap, some of the adults need a nap, everybody gets fed, and then you go back to the park 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. It's cooler, and then you do all the evening stuff, and then you can watch the fireworks. The problem is most people, they get there at 9, 10 o'clock in the afternoon, they're in the middle of the heat of the day, and then nobody wants to go home for like an hour or two and then come back for the fireworks. So it's like this just Trojan death march in the heat with all these people, the sea of people. You're fighting for restaurant space. The Imperial Death March. Yeah, it's absolutely atrocious. So that's the way I would do it. And chat with him. He'll tell you the weekends you got to go. But it's the way to do it.
So since the last time we chatted, what have you seen as far as a shift? Because, I mean, it's been a couple of months, and I called you and tried to nail you down, but I know you've been busy.
I was in film. I was trying to call you back, and I'm like, dude, I'll have to talk to you whenever. I had zero cell phone service for like a week.
So what do you think has happened as far as the real estate market in the last, let's say, month? In your opinion?
Not a lot.
No?
I know a lot of people think things are like there's all this titanic shift and all that. There's a little bit more inventory. Which is good. We've needed it.
Yeah.
I think there was a crash in supply, and we are in and I'll borrow this from Logan over at Housing Wire. We are in a savagely unhealthy real estate market. There's so little supply and there's so much demand. It's creating this wild price parities in the marketplace, and it's discouraging healthy buyers from the marketplace. That's the other problem. So it's creating this really desperate situation for buyers and sellers. So, a friend of mine's like, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house. I'm like, have you tried to find another one? And they start looking around. They go, oh my God, this is crazy. Like I can't sell my house because it's just too chaotic to find another house. So that natural attrition you would see in a marketplace, that natural churn is not happening. So that's binding up supply. So one of the things that's nice about increasing rates is you really only have the most serious buyers in the marketplace. But it's also slowing down a little bit, and it should. Like, this is so 1.6 months of inventory is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
We need to be at 4 to 6. 4 to 6 months is a nice little healthy market. Instead of getting 20 offers in your house, you get 3. And it's like, okay, cool. Here's the contingencies. The buyers need contingencies. The sellers need contingencies so they can find the next house, and these people can move in, all that other stuff. So
I was talking, not to interrupt you, so I was talking to somebody saying, I'm thinking about selling my house on Facebook. And I know these people, and I was like, don't sell, rent it out, go buy another one. Definitely not doing that. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Tell me why.
Yeah.
Too much work.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, let's sit down and talk. Nope, not doing that. I mean, like, really? Like, you really want to just let a property go that you already have a low interest rate on?
Yeah.
And you're not going to put a renter in there and let it appreciate?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Let somebody else buy down your note?
Well, I think there's a lot of real estate investors, and these doesn't sound like these folks are real estate investors, just kind of mom and pop trying to figure out what to do with a house. But real estate investors are wildly irrational. And now is a great time that's illustrating that. We're like, oh my God, there's a recession, real estate's going to crash. And I'm like, dude, a recession and real estate have nothing to do with each other. So it really comes down to supply and demand and where are our buyers and where are our sellers. So I don't think there's this. I'm looking at the data every single day, and I don't see this monumental shift. What I really see is a result of the things that have gone on in the last 2 years, which, by the way, COVID had nothing to do with. Like, this is just something that was going to happen anyway. In fact, I'm reading more reports, and it's going to be on the market update I'm going to have tomorrow that talks about folks moving out of other states.
Yes.
So Rob was up for the Mets game. So he was down here watching the Astros and the Mets in June, and then mid-June, I think, and then flew up to see Astros and the Mets at the stadium up there in New York. And he said, Jason, it's still like COVID's alive and kicking over there. Got to have masks and all this other stuff. So I still contend most of the country hasn't opened back up yet.
I would agree. Yeah, I would agree with that. Some of the other states are a little bit less liberal on the fact of no mask and stuff like that. They're a lot more restrictive on what you can and can't do. I mean, it's still out there. I mean, people are still catching it. It's not as bad.
Right.
Each variant gets weaker and weaker. Common cold now.
That's right. As it rips through the population.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, people are still uncertain of what it can and can't do to them. So.
Yeah. But when you look at this whole, people are calling this a big shift, and I'm like, it's really not. It's a natural. The market was so hot for so long that it's now
normalizing.
It's got to.
Yeah.
It's got to, or it gets this. I'll give you a good kind of equivalent. So I went up to Porsche North Houston. They called me about a car, so I drove up there. I walked in the door, and usually there's like 5 or 6 guys hanging out. There must have been 30 people there, and they had marked up their GT3s probably $100,000 over list. Mm-hmm. Now these were used cars with like
you're talking about 30 people in the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a lot for them,
yes.
right? And they're like the biggest Porsche dealer in the city. And so these cars were they had 30, 40 miles on them. They were technically used, but they were easily $100,000 over list. Mm-hmm. You thought they were having a Black Friday sale there. And because there was just so many people and they were doing so many deals, like I could see it. It was crazy. So you start looking at that and you're like, okay, well, what's really going on here? We've got a problem with supply. We can't get these cars over here fast enough because there's chip shortages and Germany's been shut down for God knows how long. Mm-hmm. So we've got 2 sides of the equation. We've got a supply issue and we have a demand issue. And it's the same problem we're having in real estate. It's the same problem we're having in guns. If you like buying guns, like if you're looking for certain models, like they've been out of stock for 2 years because the manufacturing slowed down. So there's a lot of this stuff that it's just got to get caught up. And part of the housing supply issue is people are moving, and they're not moving right now. So it's going to be interesting to see here in the next couple of months how that all shakes out. But I just don't see, like I said, I look at the data every single day, and I'm just not seeing it. So, all right, we can talk about more when we get back from breaks. Jason Bible, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. All right, ready? All right, welcome back. It's Jason Bible, Rob Trigg of Jet Lending. We're talking about the marketplace and all the stuff that's going on. I mean, what are you guys seeing?
So we're naturally we're a little concerned, just a little bit. We're underwriting a little bit stricter, I would say. Not too stricter, but we're making some slight adjustments to make sure that we don't we've got some competent borrowers and not just lending out to Joe Smo with no money. We in this time, what's going to help everybody is reserves. Especially if we do see a increase in inventory, and it keeps going up and keeps going up. What's going to help you in these times is reserves. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're going to have longer hold times instead of like you said, instead of having 30 offers, you're going to have 3. Yeah. And you take which one of those 3 is best. That's what we're potentially seeing 6 to 7 months down the road. Could be wrong, but that's what we're doing to make sure that, hey, you got to make sure you got enough reserves to handle this loan. So we've kind of adjusted that a little bit.
Yeah, it might take you 30 days to sell a house instead of 3.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not going to be on the market for 6 months. It's like, it might take you 30 days.
30 days. 3. Oh, you got an offer in 2 weeks? Oh, well, that's horrible.
It's terrible.
I remember when 45 days was good.
Yeah, we always budget. When Tom and I were flipping houses, we budgeted 3 months.
Yeah.
After completion of the house, we budgeted 3 months on the market, not including close time. Yeah. So we budgeted about 5.
Yeah, 45 days. That's how long it took us to sell both my house and my wife's. Almost 45 days to the tick.
Oh, from the time you put it on sale to the time you closed it?
And they were both in 2018.
Yeah. That's about right. Yeah. And that's still fast.
Yeah.
It's 30 days of closing. It was on the market 2 weeks.
And now it's like multiple offers, same day. You got to go.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that is starting to slow down. But I don't think it's slowing down effectively enough that we got to go into create crisis mode. And that's what this world loves to do is create crisis modes.
Yeah. I've said this. The best thing you can do in your life is turn off the news.
Yes.
I just
don't watch it anymore.
I just don't watch it anymore.
No,
it's just
don't watch it anymore at all.
Yeah. It's
Every
all,
now and then I'll get sucked back into this like conspiracy. Like this person will send me a video. I sent Brian this video of. Anyways, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
But I sent him a video of something that happened recently. It was one of those shootings, and it was horrible. It was helmet cam from this kid.
Oh yeah, well, I've watched it.
You saw it?
Dude was trained.
Yeah.
He wasn't like the best, but he was pretty good.
Yeah.
He was pretty good.
Pretty good for an 18-year-old kid.
18-year-old kid that's got no military background. He had a little bit of training.
Yeah.
Failure to stop drills. He was load and reload. I mean, he was doing some stuff there.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing. He didn't learn that from Call of Duty. Let me put it that way.
No, those are muscle memory
things
that you've got to know how to do.
Yeah.
Check. I mean, it's all muscle memory.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, we'll get into that when we're
on a
off
different
mic.
show. Yeah.
When we're
Different
off-
show.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, everybody loves to create these narratives that wants to scare the crap out of you. Just turn the news off. If it doesn't have to do with your family, you making money, or or your friends, we just don't do it anymore.
You know what I realized is, and I had this, hiking in the backcountry for 2 weeks at a time, you get a lot of clarity on some stuff, right? And I didn't have any cell phone service. It was a complete mess. So one of the things I realized is, I think one of the reasons this stuff is proliferating right now, and I don't think it's any more common now. In fact, the 70s and 80s were even worse than this, right? All the bombings and everything else. I mean, this is nothing compared to what it was 30 years ago. So one of the things I always look at is I really think folks' lives are so boring, they've got to make something up for them to feel like they've got value in their life. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my God, did you see the recent tragedy? I'm like, no, I got too much other stuff going on. Yeah. Most people don't really have anything going on in their lives.
Yeah, I just don't even want to pay. I don't even want to pay attention to it anymore. I mean, and if that means sticking my head in the clouds to make me happy, I'm sorry, my head's in the clouds when it comes to the news.
Well, I mean, what's the value? Oh, there was another shooting. Okay, well, what am I going to do about it? You're worried
you get
about
on national television and tell everybody to stop killing people.
Yeah,
that works.
That works real well, right? That works real well. You sit there and go, well, what do I have control of my life? What is my span of control? And I'm just going to be concerned with the things that I have control over.
And the one thing that I have control over is how to lend money.
There you go.
Yes, and I will lend you money.
Tell them how you can give them some money.
I can give you money on buy, fix, and hold, buy, fix, and sell, on long-term, 30-year, short-term rentals, long-term rentals. It doesn't matter. We got you covered at Jet Lending. My team is jetteam@jetlending.com, or you can call me directly on my cell phone at 903-806-4400.
You know what you can control? You can buy that single-family house and rent it out.
Yes, that you can control that.
You can control that.
Yeah,
I always find
that'll make you happy because at the end of the day, that's mailbox money coming in.
That's right.
Setting you up for retirement.
Yeah, when you sell that thing for double what you paid for it in 7 to 10 years, you go, that was a pretty good idea.
Yeah,
probably should have bought more of those.
Yeah, everybody should buy just real estate, real estate and guns.
Real estate and guns.
Because you got to protect your real estate. So
yeah, that's right. What's funny is like you ever look at a funeral, and we're dealing with some estate issues in our family right now. It's like what gets passed down? Cash and stocks and some of that other stuff. But real estate, guns, jewelry.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing people really care about.
That's it.
I want the guns.
Yeah.
I want the house. Fine, take it.
Yeah.
I just want the guns.
Yeah. Bring them on down. So.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating to me how we get wrapped around the axle and stuff we have no control over. Yeah. It's like, why are you worried about that? I mean, even this market update and all this other stuff, it's like, okay, you going to stop buying?
Nope.
Dr. Dotzauer had a great chart. I need to pull it up somewhere. He's like, even if you bought at the tippy top of the market right before the crash, you were made whole or broke even in less than 18 months.
Well, this is what I don't understand. Everybody says the market's going to crash. The only way for it to crash is that, like it did last time, in my opinion, is that if rates get way too high, and I'm talking about way too high, I'm talking 12s, 13s, and people just stop buying altogether.
But they didn't do that in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
So that's the part. It makes logical sense. You're like, yeah, if rates get too high, no one's going to buy single-family real estate. Well, it did in the 70s and 80s, and the prices kept going up because we've got a house here. you don't have a choice. You really don't. You got to live in a house, right?
Yeah, this is true.
At some point, and everyone knows. Here's the funny thing: everyone knows rates are going to go down at some point, but I still got to have a house.
Yeah.
So just go buy the house
And then refinance.
and then refi.
Yeah.
I love it when I see this housing affordability nonsense because I'm like, look, dude, do you think houses are affordable in Southern California? No, they're absolutely not. But you don't understand.
Everybody's leaving.
Right, but you don't understand, Jason. The house now costs $600 a month more. Yeah, so you're not buying a new car this year. Like you will, but consumers will prioritize a roof over their head before anything else. That's why I like being a landlord, right? You want a place to live, or you want to live under the bridge? You want to live at your mama's house? Like it's really easy choice, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like I said, I'm not buying the crash narrative. I'm just not. I'm not seeing it.
I am optimistically cautious.
Well, here was my other thought. Here's my other sinister thought. I can start screaming the market's going to crash, the market's going to crash to get as many investors out of my way as competitors. I have seriously thought about doing it, Rob.
You're evil. You're evil, Jason.
I know, but my intellectual honesty has been like, no, I shouldn't do that. I should go to every single RIA club. The world's going to end. Get out of real estate. And right now.
Now, dude.
Sell me your whole portfolio.
Leave this event now.
Get out.
Get out.
And then there you go. All of a sudden, we're buying more real estate.
And then if he looks back at it and says, Jason, you're a dumbass.
Yeah.
Then you say, okay, let's do some business.
Yeah, this is great. Or then they come back 5 years from now, they go, Jason, you were totally wrong. Oh, you're totally right, I was. Oops. But I bought all this real estate. I'm done.
Yeah.
All right. Contact info one more time, brother.
Call me at 903-806-4400. We got you covered. We'll evaluate your deals 24 hours or less. Make sure that you're in a solid investment. True story. On the way over here, lady called me. She was pulling 2 mile out comps. You can't do that in Houston, especially downtown area.
Yeah.
You can be 2 miles away and be in a total different area.
Oh, yeah.
Total different area.
2 miles from River Oaks is a rough side of town.
And I just shook my head. I said, ma'am, no offense, but you can't go that far out in this area.
Yeah.
She's like, yes, you can. I was like, well, first of all, an appraiser, if he has comps within a quarter mile that he can use that's in that neighborhood, he's going to use those comps. And once you cross over this line and this line, you're into a total different area and total different values over there. That doesn't make any sense. I said, well, I'll stick with my 6 years with Eddie Gant.
Yeah. We've done a couple more loans than you have. So
and I'll stick with my education with Eddie Gant all day long. You stick with your education because you've done 0 deals.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't get it when you get all that pushback. All right, it's Jason Bible, Texas Real Estate Radio Network. We'll be right back.